Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching channeling sessions that we have every week where we channel channel 9, channel 12, channel 8, or council of 8. I'm sorry, council of 9, council of 12. And we also channel light beings in general. They could be galactic, they could be from the other side, they could just be beings from other dimensions, but they're all light being and beings that are trying to help humanity. With these stream sessions, we actually hope to bring you the key with the coordinates where you will remember a little more of your gifts, a little more of who you really are, your true self, what you're able to do, and also at the same time raise your vibrations so you can raise the vibrations of those around you. And hopefully, week after week, we could all be in a higher frequency so we can bring hopefully some healing to the earth and to humans and every living thing that's around us. With that being said, we ask everyone to just close their eyes and take a few deep breaths. And as you're doing that, I want you to understand what I'm saying or hear what I'm saying. If we say a coordinate and you do not know how to travel because you have never done this or you just can't for whatever reason, just say to yourself, I want to go where they're going. That's it. You don't have to worry about the details. It's the destination. So if you're willing to go and you open yourself up and you remove your ego and your blockages, you will be able to do this just like we do. And you will be able to go with us, and you will be able to go wherever they send us, and you will be able to have your own experiences. Your own experiences may be a little different than ours, and that's okay. It's whatever you need at that moment to hopefully find the right key with the right lock to unlock those memories, those abilities, and that higher frequency. So continue taking nice deep breaths and just surrender to this process, allowing yourself to just float away wherever we go. Now I open the floor to the member that is here today. And if you get anything, please do state it out loud.
13, 10, 3, 9, 7. 13, 10, 3, 9, 7.
Okay.
When I stopped reading the numbers, I immediately saw a triangular shaped portal
Mhm.
of kind of white light. And before we started today, as I was preparing, I had a vision of electronics in general just melting. The screen's melting, the casing's melting, and it didn't leave a blob. It just melted away. I think we spend so much time in our lives either in front of a TV or a computer or a cell phone or whatever, Kindle, whatever. And we've lost that connectedness with each other. Talking with each other, there's nothing more enriching than being present to one another. Talking, listening, feeling the depth of each other's pains and joys. And none of that can be accurately expressed through the monitors. We're being encouraged to let go of screen time, even if it's just for an hour a day or 10 minutes a day, whatever you can allow yourself to do. Turn off the dang things, and your life will begin to expand in a lot of ways. And you'll find that you may crave more and more time without the electronics being on.
I'm hearing 13 is return to love, return to compassion, return to being present. That is why they stress that number. We forget how to communicate with each other. We have forgotten how to be with others. We have even forgotten how to be ourselves. We have become more and more what the images wants us to be, and not who we really are. We have accepted the visual that they're giving us instead of the true visual, which is us. I'm hearing we don't even know how to talk to each other in a simple way. We have forgotten manners. We have forgotten decency. We have forgotten empathy. We have no patience because we are used to everything quick, 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 quick. We don't even give ourselves time to even be present to enjoy your environment. If it's snowing, you don't take that 2 minutes to look out the window with a cup of chocolate or a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and just look out the window and acknowledge the beauty that the snow brings. How each flake is so different. How when it's not windy, it's just floating around. and landing ever so softly. How beautiful nature looks with a blanket of snow. We are just focusing on, we got to do this, we got to do that, and searching for videos and videos and videos. I'm also hearing we humans used to just sit for dinner and not pick up phones, not look at screens, not look at anything but the people that were there sitting with you. And you were used to talk about your day. What are your plans? What is happening? Just even discuss memories. So you learned about each other, and maybe there are things that have never been discussed about your childhood or something that occurred to you while college. And yet we're really fast to just get to know all of our friends in videos and in the internet, but we don't even get to know the ones that are right in front of us. We shut that down as boring, and you're not providing anything. Wouldn't it be grand to get back to real communication? Like Jazz said, we're so focused on the electronics that now it is hard to even sit there without looking at the phone constantly or what email came in. Now, in this portal that we're in front of us, when we go through it, we will be going to a classroom where there are people there relearning how to be humans, how to learn how to communicate all over again. Not just using one word, but sitting at dinner, please pass this, and the other person doing it without any concern or any disturbance. Learning how to say you're welcome. Learning how to open doors for others that are going by. Saying good morning, have a nice day. We don't communicate. And then we wonder why sometimes we feel like we're stuck. We don't take the advantage of those that are around us to get to know them, to truly get to know them and get to know how they act and why they act that way. And open up that door of communication so you can feel safe and they could feel safe to speak, to discuss, and of course, above all, listen to each other. Now, Jazz, I am in that classroom already. And I think it's kind of funny, but I am seeing the teacher looks like SpongeBob. And there's an assistant that looks like Squib. So, and Squib is the one writing everything on the, for all intents and purposes, the blackboard on just how to communicate and how to open the heart that needs to be reopened. So there's less hate and more love. There's less discord and more peace. less wars or battles, and more understanding and agreements. And by the way, it isn't just human beings. We also have other beings there learning the lessons too. I guess it isn't only the earth that has gotten rotten, but maybe that energy is affecting the world in general.
As we rekindle the skill of listening and speaking our simple truth, it'll be easier to connect with nature as well. We've built cities high and tall, and sometimes it's hard to find nature in some of these concrete and macadam edifices. But if you look, people have plants in their windowsills or on their balconies. You see birds in the sky, and take those moments, and I want to say freeze them as a memory, so that when you're someplace safe or someplace you can kind of ponder it, you can bring that back. For those of us who have the luxury of having more nature around us, we have to get out there and appreciate it and see it and connect with it. There's great wisdom there if we allow ourselves the time and the energy to peel back from the craziness of the world around us and listen to the silence, listen to the little cracklings of tiny feet moving across leaves, and embracing the smells and hearing the language of the trees and the small animals and the plants. They freely give us their scent.
Mm-hmm. I'm also hearing, don't forget the water. The water has a lot to say also, if we are willing to pay attention. Water has a lot of memory and carries a lot of experiences. So when it's raining, just communicate, be open, and listen to what the raindrops have to say.
You may find yourself hearing a symphony in those raindrops.
Mm.
Frankincense.
Mhm. Mhm. There is this aroma that I trying to make heads or tails of it. Kind of like frankincense and
Sea breeze.
yeah. Mm-hmm. A little myrrh, but not a lot of that. It's like a combination. It's very calming, very cleansing and purifying. Now, for those that may realize that they're spending too much time with electronics, they're saying just close your eyes and envision your heart like doors opening up. And even if you want to time this exercise to do it every day, put 5 minutes there and just envision your heart chakra opening up and your heart growing and growing and growing in energy. And then when the alarm comes along, you can close it. Once you get the hang of it, you will understand why you do this. It's because all these electronics are closing our hearts. They're putting a barrier over the heart chakra, over our compassion, over our unconditional love, instead of benefiting us. It seems like we're going the other extreme.
Even when you're in your car, turn off the radio, turn off the Sirius XM, turn off the navigation system, and have a conversation with whoever's with you.
Mm-hmm.
And should you be blessed without having somebody there with you, communicate with your heart to the universe,
Mm-hmm.
to the Creator.
And for those that are saying to themselves, oh, people are going to think I'm crazy, they don't know if you're on the phone or not. So don't worry. And even if they think you're crazy, so what?
You're in good company.
Yeah. And the benefits outweigh all the craziness that could be. And I'm getting another coordinate now. 139319. 139319. Now let's just float to those coordinates, allowing ourselves to be free of anything that's weighing us down. I believe we are South America and Brazil at this moment.
I'm hearing a lot of laughter.
Not sure if it's carnival time or not, but that's what the energy feels like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lots of celebrations all over. Everywhere you go. Laughter is the best medicine, isn't it?
Indeed.
So enjoy this moment and receive all that energy. that is being sent from these celebrations. And people are just celebrating no matter what they have or they don't have. For myself, I see people who are really dressed up, and then I see people who don't have much, but yet they're all just celebrating and laughing and dancing and singing out loud, just having a grand old time.
Hearing a lot of bongo drums and tambourines and maracas.
Hmm.
I think the message is that this is what can be if we walk away from technology.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that you have to walk away from it forever, but just like you 15, 20 years ago, you did your time at work, it was your time to quit, and it was your time to quit. Make time to live life. Make time for yourself and those that are around you, even those that are within your own household. Sometimes we don't even see the benefits of just having regular conversations. They don't want you to put technology away forever because they brought technology to us. Have been giving us the hints of which way to go and how to do it. But they're saying, remember to live life, enjoy life, communicate, get involved in humanity, in living before it's too late. And then all they have a memory of you is those few pictures that they took, and then that you were always on your phone because you never ever took the time to be involved and be present. No matter how much you have to do, sometimes you have to say no. This is family time, or this is dinner time, or this is just me time. And the laughter and the voices are getting louder and louder, and more fun is around us, and the energy is rising, and the vibrations are getting stronger. And it's very healing, very powerful and healing. And even say the vibrations of the drums, that is also healing earth and healing nature. Joy all abound. Now, for me, for some reason, I'm in one of those small airplanes, older ones with propellers, and I'm in one of those seats, and yet everybody is talking to each other, even though they don't know each other. They're not glued to the phone, they're not glued to the screen in front of you. You're actually communicating and having great human contact, even though you're flying and you're strangers. You are enjoying the moment and being present in the moment.
The mountain up ahead, and I'm seeing a staircase, but the staircase isn't straight. It winds around the mountain, and it's resembles our life path, that it's not always a straight, narrow line in front of us, but one that, despite the incline and the challenge, is worth the climb. It's worth it to be able to celebrate and to meet new people and to embrace the process. If it was just a straight line and you climbed up, where would the challenge be? And finding time and being open with a stranger sometimes is one of the most interesting conversations that you'll have. And not your walls are down. You don't have any preconceived notions of who they are or what their expectations of you are at that moment. You're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rejuvenating. And you find that oftentimes those are people who are important to your journey in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't taken the time, you've missed a precious moment. You've missed cues to being able to accomplish that climb. You've missed out on love of that moment.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes even how they're giving you guidance. It's the only way they found that to give you that guidance before you land, before you get to your destination. By paying attention, you may receive what the guidance that you needed to for what you need to do when you land. Maybe you're going to a meeting. You had no idea, or you were very hesitant, and yet this person's experiences resonated with you because you listened to them and you actually had those conversations. And now you're not so hesitant. You're willing to see where it goes. And you have an idea of other people who may have gone through the same thing. And their talk about their experiences helps you settle down. Find the courage. It doesn't always come black and white right in front of you, like if it was an email. It comes in hints. Those answers you're looking for come in between the lines, in somebody else's experiences, in nature, in just being present and paying attention.
Also being encouraged to, if you've gotten away from reading books in tactile sense with an actual book in front of you and not a digital representation of it, take a book, feel the cover, feel the pages. There's so many different types of paper, so many different types of inks and whatnot, and delve into that reading, no matter what the subject is. And I think even if you have it electronically stored someplace, the experience of physically holding that book and reading it will give you some new revelations that you missed because you read it on a screen previously.
Mhm. Plus, touching that book and that paper, you may get a sense of the writer's feelings and emotional state when they wrote that book, what their real intention was with their energy, even though they may never have touched that particular book. But when you write something and you send it a book out, that intention of the author, that knowledge, that vision that he or she had, will be ingrained, and palpable energy that you can feel. And you can then experience that book in a whole different other manner and level. Now they're asking me to give them the experience that I had with the book, The Four Agreements. Very old book. And I received only the digital copy. And then I went to an old bookstore and I saw one of the original prints. And I bought it and it was so different. I could feel the energy in that physical form, the difference in the common energy that was being sent to the reader. Very different than on the screen. There's nothing wrong with the screen, but sometimes you have to experience and go back to the beginning and experience life differently. Kind of starting over and going back to the basics. Back to basics when you're cooking, making up recipes. What do you think? Should we add this? Should we add that? Go back to basics. Enjoy those moments. Enjoy the moments of crocheting something or knitting something or painting something. Enjoy the moments of doing the actual physical thing, not just on the screen. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, I like to do that too. But they're just telling us we kind of have to also remember human beings need physical contact. That is where their cells pick up the energy to rejuvenate. One of the ways, anyway. You go pick up that book, like Jazz said, pick up the book, go to the park when it's warmer, go share nature with your reading. Enjoy the people that walk by, or riding by, or running by. You never know if the squirrel is going to come down and sit next to you on the good old-fashioned park bench. It is all about the experience and the connection that we somehow are missing out on. We just need to have a place and a time. There's time and a place for everything in our lives. And we could be more fulfilling, we could live a more fulfilling life if we structured it to have experiences online and offline with people, with those around us, and even with ourselves. If you don't even have anyone that's there with you for dinner, set up your placemats, set up your full plate, set up your full setting. Like if there was going to be somebody else there with you. And eat, not rushing, not sitting in front of a TV. Eat with yourself. You never know what's going to happen and what brainstorm is going to come to you. Maybe divine beings will come and join you. And you will get a lot more peace, a lot more tranquility, and a lot more sense of being.
Even sitting in a different place at the table. We tend to sit in the same seats all the time, whether you're in church or not. But changing your seat, you think, what's the big deal? But it changes your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And you see things a little bit differently from that chair, from that change of scenery in the window. All kinds of little things help us be able to think for ourselves and not just be spoon-fed information that sometimes happens with online experiences. We need to be able to problem solve. And when we have that tactile experience in our hands, whether we're building something like a birdhouse or whatever, oftentimes you run into an obstacle and you've got to think your way through it. And sometimes you struggle and like, well, that didn't work and that didn't work. But you work your way through it. And you don't have that problem solving process if you just have the information spoon fed. Even if you set of directions, they can be very good instructions, but they may not give you every single teeny tiny detail that you need to work through. So it's an experience that's well worth the opportunity and the time.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Time for us to
Mm-hmm.
be moving on.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting that it's time to go back down. To just take a look once more. To take all that experience in. And we're going to go through that portal back. Nice and slow. And we're counting down to our 0. 5, 4, nice and slow. Remembering what you just experienced. 3, 2, being grateful for giving yourself the this experience, for allowing yourself to be open. 1 and 0, our particular 0, individual 0, which means we're back in our bodies. We're back to full focus. We can hear and feel and smell all of our surroundings. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes at any time. You could sit here if you want, just letting all that energy flow through you. In the meantime, we are going to say good night. Stay blessed. Stay grateful. Namaste, and as always, we love you. Have a good one, everyone.